You know, when we think about what could damage our homes, our minds usually go to the big, dramatic stuff, right? A hurricane, maybe a fire, or a crack spreading up the wall. But what if I told you that the most destructive forces are often the ones you can't see at all? The ones waging a silent war, literally right under your feet. So let's just forget about all that stuff you can see for a second. Let's just push aside the high winds and the heavy rain, because here's the real question we're digging into today. What if the biggest, most relentless threat to your house isn't some act of God, but the very ground it's built on? What if there's a constant battle happening between the earth and the pipes that are the lifeblood of your home? That's exactly the hidden conflict we're going to uncover.
Okay, so how would you even know this war is happening? Well, like any hidden conflict, it has warning signs. It doesn't start with some big, catastrophic bang. Nope. It starts small, with these little, nagging, frustrating problems. The kind of stuff that's honestly really easy to just brush off. Let's run through the symptoms.
All right, first up, the smell. You know what I'm talking about, that weird, unpleasant odor coming from the kitchen sink or the bathroom drain. It's the kind of thing that comes and goes so you ignore it. But it's a huge signal that somewhere way down the line, things are just not flowing the way they should be. And then there's this. You hop in the shower expecting a nice, strong spray, and what you get is, well, it's more like a pathetic little drizzle. That weak flow from the faucet, it's not just annoying. It's literally your plumbing system screaming for help, telling you that water is struggling to get where it needs to go. Classic sign of a system under serious strain. Okay, and this one hurts. It hits you right in the wallet. Your water bill suddenly spikes, but you haven't been doing anything different. You haven't filled a swimming pool. This is a massive red flag. It means water is escaping somewhere you can't see it. It's a hidden leak, quietly draining your bank account. And finally, we get to the most undeniable, frankly kind of gross evidence of all. You go to get a glass of water, you turn on the tap, and what comes out isn't clear. It's got this brownish, rusty tint to it. And listen, this is not just some cosmetic problem. You are literally seeing physical pieces of your plumbing system breaking apart and flowing right out of your faucet. All right, so we've covered the symptoms. That's the what. But to really understand the why, what's actually causing all this, we need to zoom in on a specific place where this battle is raging every single day. Kingwood, Texas. Believe it or not, this one community is basically the perfect case study for how a unique cocktail of environmental pressures can just wreak havoc on a home. And here's the thing, it's not just one culprit. It's a collection of factors that come together to create a literal perfect storm. First, Kingwood is right next to a river and a floodplain, so the ground is soaked a lot of the time. Second, that ground is made of this special kind of expansive clay soil. We'll get more into that, but think of it like a giant sponge. On top of that, most of the houses are getting old, built back in the 70s and 80s with pipes from that time. Then you throw in a super humid climate that makes things rust faster and water that's full of minerals, and yeah, you've got a system that's being pushed way past its breaking point. Let's really zero in on that clay soil for a minute, because it is the main villain in this story. See, this stuff has two totally different personalities. During wet seasons, it soaks up water and swells like a massive sponge, putting this incredible pressure on any pipes buried inside it. It's literally squeezing them. But then, when things get dry, it shrinks and cracks, causing the ground to shift around. This relentless cycle of squeezing, then shifting, for old rigid pipes, it's a complete death sentence. And you've got to understand, this is basically a 40-year time bomb that's just now going off. Back in the 70s, when Kingwood was booming, builders used the standard stuff for pipes, galvanized steel and cast iron. And for decades, everything was fine. No one thought twice about it. But now, here we are in the 2020s. Those pipes are hitting the 40 or 50-year mark, which is pretty much their max lifespan. And they're not failing one by one. They're all starting to fail at the same time. Okay, so we've got the symptoms, we've got the diagnosis. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's look at the anatomy of a failure. What actually happens when these hidden pressures finally win and the whole system just gives up? The first point of catastrophic failure is often the cast iron sewer lines. Now, you might think they rust from the outside because of the soil, but nope. It's actually the opposite. All the stuff flowing through them corrodes the pipe from the inside out, making the metals super brittle. So when that clay soil decides to shift and squeeze, the pipe doesn't bend. It just shatters. And the result? It's pretty much a homeowner's worst nightmare, a complete sewage backup right into your house. All right, failure point number 2 is on the other side of the system, the galvanized steel pipes that bring fresh water in. And guess what? Same story. They corrode from the inside out. Remember that low water pressure and rusty water we talked about? This is why. The pipes get so clogged with their own rust that water can barely get through. And the worst part? You can't just fix a spot here or there. This is a system-wide failure. The only real long-term solution is a complete repiping of the entire house. All of this brings us to a term that strikes fear into the hearts of homeowners, the slab leak. And it's as bad as it sounds. This is when one of those pipes running underneath the concrete slab of your foundation finally breaks. All that pressure from the shifting soil just snaps it. So now you have water gushing out, hidden under your house, potentially ruining your foundation. You might not even know it's happening until you notice a warm spot on your floor or get a crazy high water bill. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, as if the soil and the old pipes weren't enough to deal with, there's another enemy, and this one is alive. We're talking about those beautiful, big, mature trees you see all over these neighborhoods. Well, they get thirsty, and their roots are like heat-seeking missiles for water. They can sense the moisture in your sewer lines, and they will hunt down and force their way into the tiniest crack, creating a massive root ball that chokes the entire system. Okay, I know this all sounds pretty bleak. A war on all fronts, right? But here's the good news. This is a battle we can actually win. The way we fight back against these decades-old problems isn't about guesswork or crossing your fingers. It's a smart, modern, methodical approach that uses science and technology to turn the tide. So what's the modern battle plan? It's actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, speed. You get an expert on site fast. Step 2, and this is the most important part, accurate diagnosis. No more digging up your entire yard just hoping to find the problem. Today, technicians use high-tech tools, like tiny cameras they send right down into the pipes, so they can see exactly what's wrong and where it is. And that leads to step 3, a targeted surgical repair. You fix the right problem, the right way, the first time. And a massive part of that modern solution comes down to simply using better materials. I mean, look at this. The old galvanized steel, it was basically designed to fail from rust over time. Now you've got great options like copper, which is known for lasting a very long time. But the real game changer is PEX. It's a type of flexible plastic tubing, and its superpower is that it can actually bend and move with that shifting soil instead of just snapping. It is engineered from the ground up to solve the exact problems that plagued the old pipes. But listen, it's not just about slapping in some new pipes and calling it a day. The materials are only half the battle. The other half is the installation itself. It has to be done right, following really strict engineering and plumbing codes. These aren't just suggestions, they're rules that cover every little detail to make sure the new system can actually handle the unique pressures of the environment. It's about protecting the house and your investment for decades to come. So there you have it. We've seen how this perfect storm of geology, history, and even biology can wage a full-scale war on a home's most vital systems. And it really just leaves us with one final, pretty important question you should ask yourself. Is your own home fighting a hidden battle that you can't see? And more importantly, are its defenses ready for what the future might throw at it?